Take a breath for a second. Picture yourself there. A random Tuesday. The afternoon dragging on slowly, like it's tired too. And your life exactly as it is right now. With its cracks. With that silence that sometimes weighs more than noise. Because this story could be yours. I never thought someone else's divorce could shake my own ground so much. And especially not my neighbor's. I'd seen her for years. Polite good mornings. A quick smile in the elevator. Nothing more. Until one day, everything changed. It was a normal afternoon. The kind that promises nothing. I was home, wearing old shorts, thinking about 1,000 things and nothing at all. When someone knocked on the door. 3 soft knocks. Hesitant. I opened it. There she was. Swollen eyes. Hair pulled back without effort. A blouse too big, like it belonged to someone who was no longer there. "Hi. Sorry to bother you," she said. "Do you know how to hang curtains?" The words were simple, but there was something underneath. Something broken. I nodded without thinking. "Sure, come in." And that was the first mistake. Or the first act of brutal honesty of my life. Her apartment smelled different. Not like perfume. Like goodbye. Poorly sealed boxes. Photos turned face down. A cold cup of coffee on the table, untouched. Like time had stopped there. She showed me the bedroom window. "I don't want people seeing inside," she said. "Not yet. Not yet." That phrase stuck with me. As I struggled with the drill, she talked. Not much, but enough. That the marriage was over. That there were no screams. No violence. Just betrayal, she said, almost whispering. And that's more exhausting. I didn't look at her, but I felt her. Some pain doesn't need long explanations. Just air. When I finished, she offered me a glass of water. We sat down, across from each other. 2 strangers connected by someone else's wound. And our own. "Do you know what the worst part is?" she suddenly asked. It wasn't that he left with someone else. It was that he looked me in the eyes and told me I wasn't enough anymore. Right there, something inside me cracked. Because we've all been there. That place where you doubt yourself. Where the mirror no longer reflects who you remember. Where you wonder if loving was a mistake. I saw her trembling. Just a little. Instinct. I placed my hand over hers. And she didn't pull away. This is where people judge. You don't do that. That's inappropriate. Crossing that line always ends badly. Maybe. But nobody talks about what happens before. That exact second when there's no lust. Just 2 people tired of being alone. She looked at me. Not with desire. With emotional hunger. "Thank you for helping me," she said. "With the curtains. And for not treating me like I'm broken." That's when I felt fear. Because when someone sees you like that, so directly, you know there's no going back. We stayed silent. A thick silence. Uncomfortable. Alive. My head was screaming for me to leave. To not complicate things. To not be that guy. But the heart, that damn heart, sometimes just wants to feel needed. "Can I ask you something?" she said. I nodded. "Do you think someone can start over without becoming cynical?" That question wasn't for me. It was for her. For her story. For everything she'd lost. "I think you start over anyway," I said, afraid, but more honest. She smiled. A small smile. Fragile. Real. And then, she stood up. "I won't lie to you. What happened next was slow. Awkward. Full of doubt. Nothing cinematic. Nothing perfect. Just 2 people touching like they were checking if they were still alive. It wasn't just physical. It was need. It was sadness mixed with desire. It was betrayal of the past. And refuge in the present. And yes, there was guilt. A lot of it. When I woke up, light was coming through the curtains I had hung. Pure irony. She was awake. Staring at the ceiling. "I don't want this to turn into something it's not," she said. I nodded. "Neither do I." But we both knew the truth. Nothing goes back to being nothing after you cross certain doors. The days after were strange. Awkward encounters in the hallway. Messages never sent. Long silences. Until one night, she knocked again. This time not for curtains. Can I just sit with you for a while? She asked. That just weighed a ton. And that's when I understood something nobody tells you. Sometimes infidelity doesn't start with sex. It starts with being seen, with being heard, with not feeling invisible. It didn't last. Couldn't. She needed to heal. I needed to understand my own emptiness. One night she said, "Thank you for not promising me anything." And she left. Today, months later, the curtains are still there. So am I. And when I think about her, I don't think about the morbid part. I think about the uncomfortable truth she gave me. Love doesn't always break suddenly. Sometimes it wears down in silence. And when someone appears and treats you with humanity, that can be more dangerous than any explicit affair. If you're watching this with a tight chest, if you've been the one left behind, or the one who looked for shelter where you shouldn't have, or the one who was betrayed without understanding why, you're not weak. You're human. But listen, pain doesn't justify destroying yourself even more. Listen to what hurts. Take care of it. Don't cover it with bodies, empty promises, or pretty excuses. Learn and move forward. If the story stirred something inside you, it wasn't an accident. Maybe today you don't need answers. Just to know you're not alone in feeling this way. See you in the next video. Take care. Really.